Yeah.
It's hand.
I didn't realize this. This 3. Yeah. 4. 5. It's a fucking solo team kill. Casually hitting flips. This is what happens.
Okay, I wanted to talk about something real quick. I'm bringing a very somber mood to the recording because it is currently 4:07 in the morning. I have been casually grinding Overwatch quick play, and as you can see, I have made zero progress from the last time. I've got 4 levels from the last time you saw me on Cass because this grind is abysmal, but I stated I wanted to beat Overwatch, and by golly, as much as I don't want to, my brain's not going to let me let it go until I do it. So, level 1000 for everybody. Everybody's competitive weapon skin. There you go. But I did want to talk about something really quick. I wanted to talk about a system that I'm wondering why we haven't done something different with it. And it's this one. For those of you who don't know, if you play competitive and you win games, you get points. The points can be used to exchange for various things like golden weapons, jade weapons, galactic weapons, and for this year, Crimson Wolf weapons. I think Crimson Wolf looks amazing, but that brings it up to a 12,000 point grind for every character. Because you got 4 weapon skins at 3,000 points apiece, that's 12,000 points a character, and there are like 40 or 50 something characters. I'm not going to sit here and count them all. But just here you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. You got 14 tanks at 12,000 points apiece. I mean, do the math. So I've been looking at a system to try to find a way to make the casuals be able to stay out of competitives, to not ruin people's games who want to be competitive, but at the same time earn this way of getting these as a bragging right and as a hey, I'm just dedicated to the game. I'm not dedicated to the competitive side of the game, but I'm dedicated to the game. And I figured it out. People, you can disagree with me, you can agree with me. I hope that we reach common understanding because I've openly stated it's not fair when casual players go into comp and somehow get into high elos and ruin a diamond game because they're just playing for the points. They're not playing for the win, so they'll trickle in. They won't coordinate properly. There's no communication. They're just going in and doing what they want to do because either way they're going to get points either way. One way is just going to be longer than the other. And that's with these legacy points. So, also if you didn't know, Overwatch had a problem where competitive players were hoarding the regular competitive points and then buying the new weapon skin when it came out. I get it. It was annoying. It created this I don't need to play comp because I have enough points to just buy what I want to buy and move on with my life. Here's what I say to do. If that's the way you want to do it, okay. But at the end of the day, most of them are just grinding competitive points, just getting as many as they can throughout the year, which means it's still the same thing happening in high elos, and then they're getting converted to legacy. Now they have a hoard, they have a stash of legacy points. But now with those legacy points, they could buy Crimson Wolf. So now they're just getting more use out of a hoarding thing. They're just not hoarding the same way, if that makes sense. It's now just more of a little bit of a convoluted hoard versus the way hoarding used to be. Either way, they're hoarding points. You're either hoarding the competitive points or you're hoarding the legacy points. Most people now are hoarding legacy. I would say if that's the way you want to do it, that's fine. But let's dial it up a little bit. Let's give legacy points in quick play games. I mean, the legacy points can only buy the last year's weapon. You can only buy up to Galactic with the legacy points as of this year. Giving the legacy points in quick play games incentivizes the casuals to go for at least 9,000 points to go for these three, and then they're either going to go to competitive and learn that they're going to have to play competitively to farm the points. Because I would say winning would give you more points and climbing divisions would give you more points. Get rid of the 30 games for 100 points. You win, you get points. You climb division, you get more points. So it's going to incentivize the casuals to go in with that winning mindset because they want to win for the points. And then they want to climb. So climbing gives you more points, so now they're incentivized to climb. And because they've climbed, now all of a sudden these ranks that don't feel very filled at least get a smaller boost in players so that maybe GM games don't take 45 minutes to queue for, and then maybe top 500 you get a little bit more of a boom. Maybe it's, maybe that goes into a 45-minute queue time instead of a 3-hour queue time. And that will incentivize either the casuals to wait, or if they're greedy enough and they want it enough, they'll go in and with the new systems, they'll be incentivized to win and climb for more points, so they have to spend less time there. Well, the caveat to that, and I know what you're thinking, the caveat to that, well, Death, if you do it, what's stopping the people from Conk just going into Legacy, farming the Legacy points, and then doing the same thing? There's not. Because who cares? How long have we had gold weapons in this game? If you are a player who has not gotten a gold weapon yet, you genuinely do not want one because you do not want to go to competitive. I have 2,125 points. And that's officially where I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take a step back from the competitive side. I'm going to have fun before I go and try to pull my hair out and die by the time I'm 50. So, giving these legacy points out in quick play to incentivize players, and on the legacy point, win or lose, you get points. The win gets more points than the loss, but the loss still gets a reward anyway because, hey, you were there. It's going to stop leavers because if you leave, you're not going to get points. And you got to take a penalty for it. This is why I think like certain games like, in my opinion, COD Mobile was doing great because it rewarded you for just being there. You could get your stealth stomped into the dirt. I got 100 credits for that. Holy crap, that's enough credits. I could go buy an old seasonal weapon camo. I could go buy the Christmas camo for this weapon. Yo. So even if I'm not winning, I'm winning. It's kind of that thing. Now, the extra thing is diamond players who've got the Doomfist skin. Sorry, quick play people. That's for competitive. That is their reward. But maybe give them a bigger reward the higher they climb. So not just a Doomfist skin. Maybe give them, some sort of special skin for everybody, just for climbing. And hell, while we're at it, give them a third mode called warm-ups. That way they have their version of quick play. They go into quick play, they go into warm-ups, it's their version of quick play. You got 5v5 and 6v6 warm-ups. That's 4 modes in competitive. They need more modes than unranked does. Unranked needs 5v5, 6v6. That's all they really need. Mystery Heroes, you could probably just take that and toss it. It's such a small player base, much like Stadium, but I do think Stadium needs to come back. But Death, how? What did you see? I just said 5v5, 6v6 warm-ups. So that's 4 modes in comp. You got 3 modes in here. You got Stadium, that's 4 modes. Stadium in here and stadium warm-ups. Bam. Competitive needs more modes so that the people who want to actively compete can, play. So they go into unranked to warm up. Well, they're not really getting much of a baseline to run off of when the people in unranked are just kind of there. So now they're getting called sweats, and they're getting accused of cheating when maybe they're not cheating. Maybe they're just warming up in quick play because they have nowhere to warm up. So give them a place to warm up. Competitive warm-ups. The rules are the same. You get your map vote, you get your pick, you get your bans, and it plays like quick play. But in the warm-ups for competitive, you earn legacy points. But in the real versions of competitive, you earn competitive points. Yes, it seems like everybody wins, so nobody loses. It's just participation medals. But at the end of the day, who cares? It's just a game. Give everybody something to grind for, because eventually players are going to get bored of certain grinds. Like, I mean, look at where I'm at in the battle pass. I have no incentive to really grind besides the heroes. So if I grind the battle pass at 200 and I didn't want to do the heroes, the hell am I even doing in this game anymore? I'm going to go play something else. See what I mean? You're going in, you're doing that, or you're buying your way to the top and going, well, I'll see you next season, guys. Makes sense? So at the end of the day, just give everybody something. Everybody getting something, I think, will increase the player count. We'll keep the casuals in casual. We'll keep the competitives in competitive. And we're going to start seeing a lot more of the older skins, because in my opinion, that's the way it should be. You should see the gold, the jade, the galactic more because they're older, not because they're newer. The newer skin should be the rarer one until next year. Then it should become more common to find. That's just my opinion. Let me know honestly what you think. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with it, and I know a lot of people are going to agree with it. But at the end of the day, it's just a game, guys. Let's have some fun. Enjoy yourselves. And if Blizzard actually does this, go grind. Later.